Transforming your organization's approach to workforce management is a big, exciting goal. But before you embark on your journey, you need to know about change management. These are the 5 fundamentals of change management that might just spell the difference between success and failure. 1. Have a vision. All meaningful change begins with one word: why. At the very start of your organization's process, you need to give yourself what we'll call a why interrogation. Ask questions like these: why do we want to make a change? What workforce management issues are we currently facing? How will a new solution help us address these challenges? In the long term, what will success look like? Without a firm why, you lack a strong foundation for change, and it's easy to lose your way. But with one, you have a clear path forward. Imagine success. Think about the present for a moment, where your organization's at with workforce management today. What are the biggest obstacles you deal with? What are your recurring pain points? What problems are you eager to fix? Now think about an ideal future, a perfect world scenario. What does your best version of workforce management look like? What hurdles do you no longer have to contend with? What surprising approaches have streamlined your process? Guess what you just did? You imagined success. You visualized a future in which your organization excels amid the complex demands of workforce management. Now, keep that vision in mind because it's going to be your finish line. 2. Let leaders pave the way. What makes leaders, or sponsors, so indispensable? They have a big picture view of the change project. Articulate that vision to all stakeholders. See the initiative through to completion. The first step, then, is to know who your leaders are. Who's going to make up the core team that drives your change? And how will they divide up responsibility? The next move is to make sure your leaders are on the same page. Does everyone have a deep understanding of the reasons for the transformation? Are they all equally and passionately invested? When you have a strong set of sponsors who present a unified front, they can go forward to spread the message of change and get the entire organization on board. Remove roadblocks. So, how do employees feel about change? According to Forbes, a survey found that 45% of frontline employees feel that they generally like to remain in the status quo. That's nearly half, but it's not surprising. And it isn't because frontline team members aren't interested in adopting new systems or improving processes. It's because they often feel as if they're receiving top-down orders for implementation without a clear sense of the why. That's where leadership comes in. It's the job of change sponsors to create the feeling that everyone's in this together, open the lines of communication so that everybody's clued in, support team members who may be having trouble adapting. Change is hard, and effective leaders must recognize that. Until you've removed the roadblocks and helped your frontline employees overcome their resistance, your initiative can't truly get going. But once you have, your team can thrive. 3. Communicate the why. Remember when we talked about the why? That all-encompassing reason for your organization's workforce management transformation? Well, it's not enough just to know what it is. You also have to communicate it to your whole organization. If people don't understand why they're being asked to make a change, they're not going to get behind it. And if they don't get behind it, it's not going to work. At the start of your process, we recommend having your leadership team host a series of what we call Why Jam sessions. These can be for the full organization or divided up by department, or both. They're an opportunity to explain why the change is happening, lay out the plan for transformation, field questions from team members. Your change sponsors will lead these sessions, but they shouldn't be one-way lectures. They should be dialogues in which everyone is encouraged to voice their thoughts and concerns. And if you can, find a way to make them fun, too. Answer questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question is a truism, but it's never truer than when change is involved. Organizational transformation invites an array of questions from employees. Questions like, what's the thinking behind this initiative? How will this change affect my work? Where can I turn if I'm feeling behind the curve? These are all valid inquiries, and if you want your change to succeed, you need to respond to them promptly and directly. The watchword here is transparency. When team members feel that decisions are being made behind closed doors, decisions that will result in their having to learn new skills and shift their behaviors, they're far less likely to jump on the bandwagon. But a transparent environment fosters energy, enthusiasm, and commitment. So prepare for those smart questions with some clear, thoughtful answers. 4. Train and support. The biggest misconception about training is that it's a one-time event. Okay, here's how the new system works, now go use it. It's this kind of misguided thinking that explains an alarming statistic from the Forbes survey. Only 22% of employees feel their change training was actually effective. 22%. That's not a very heartening figure, but here's why it's so low. Training isn't a one-off. It's a process. No matter how agile your employees may be, you can't expect them to adapt to a whole new system overnight, which is why it's so important that you train them in a steady, measured way over time, provide positive reinforcement as they adjust to the new solution, offer support and encouragement if they struggle along the way. It may seem like you're doing more training work than is necessary, but it'll pay off in the long run when your employees feel they have everything they need to succeed. 5. Measure and celebrate. Your new workforce management system is up and running. Congrats! The software's functioning properly, your new procedures are in place, and your team is well trained. So now what? Now it's time to measure. Think back to the reason your organization embarked on its change initiative in the first place. Ask yourself, have we overcome the inefficiencies we were struggling with? How has our new system made our processes faster and better? In what ways could we still continue to improve? These questions will allow you to gauge how well your solution is working, and you should ask them at regular intervals. Use periodic progress reports and assessment meetings to help you track your success. Even when you're thriving, there's always room for growth and improvement. So make ongoing evaluations a part of your plan. Needs and requirements never stop evolving, and neither should your organization. Mark your successes. Effective change management may seem like a challenge. That's because it is, which is why it's so important that you take time to acknowledge and celebrate successes. There are many exciting ways your organization can recognize positive outcomes. Shout out team members who've gone above and beyond. Host celebratory events when milestones are reached. Send out enthusiastic communications that highlight achievements. Rewarding your team for a job well done isn't just about boosting morale. It's also a great way to remind employees that your change process has been worthwhile and that their hard work in making it happen is being appreciated. We at WorkSync hope you find guidance and clarity in our 5 fundamentals of successful change management. And we wish you luck on your organization's workforce management journey. Visit our website to download your copy of the Change Management Toolkit to help guide you.